I'm the man of the city. Cut that top off when I'm rolling. I'm the man of the city, and you damn well know it. I'm the man of the city. Peep the rolling when it's glowing. I'm the man of the city. We just caught up in a moment. I'm the man of the city.
Get him, my
Hi.
damn nerves.
We just beat each other up before the podcast started.
It's okay. We're here. We're live. Brandon got mollywopped, but that's a whole nother subject.
Not true. We in here now.
Let's go.
Sipping your hot tea. How you feeling today?
I feel here.
Jordan's a little under the weather. So.
Fun fact out there. This is PSA. Never get a flu shot. I went to the doctor's for a checkup.
Oh, is that why you might be sick right now?
Just for an everyday thing. What happened was, I'm sorry, it's a pharmacy or whatever. So they gave me a flu shot. They're like, it's free. You have insurance. Just, get the flu shot. I was like, bet, help prevent stuff.
There's some places that pay you to get flu shots, by the way.
And I'm starting to get it now because, so they gave me the flu shot after, of course they wait till after the flu shot. They're like, oh, by the way, you may get every single symptom of the flu shot from the flu shot.
Get the flu.
But you won't get the flu. I was like, so
thanks.
If I just didn't get the flu shot, I'm kind of taking my chances here. I may get nothing. But you're basically giving me the flu so I don't get the flu.
So is that what you think is happening right now?
I think the government is out to kill everybody at this point.
Kill everybody?
Don't ever get a flu shot. That's trash.
I won't get a shot, period. I'll die first.
Fun fact, I've never had the flu before.
Yeah. If they gave me the choice and was just like, you can have the flu or get the shot and not have the flu, I might be like,
you take your chances. Roll the dice, man.
Flu,
Just roll the dice at this point.
I'm not getting a shot. I don't do needles. I don't do none of that. I can't. I'm a little bit.
As long as you're honest about it. I have tattoos, so needles are not a problem.
I have nothing. My pain tolerance is like below zero. Like you could like literally poke me and I'd be like, I'm just very sensitive, dog.
You're trash. Like, at least you're honest about it, and that's what it all comes down to.
This is spitballing, by the way.
Spitballing podcast. We in here.
Spitballing.
Can we start off with some congratulations? Can we do that?
I mean, there's nothing that says we can't.
We're calling the shots here. We'll give a shout out to Cardi B, #1 solo artist.
That's impressive. For
rap females. She's the first one to do it in 20 years.
I'm rooting for her as a musician. I want her to have as much success as possible. I think her being the new face of hip hop would do it well. Mm-hmm. The biggest question.
Hold on.
I got you.
Hold on. Okay. Face of hip hop. Let's not get crazy.
Female hip hop.
Let's not get crazy.
Female hip hop.
Even that's kind of questionable, to be honest with you.
No, I mean, well, there has to be one face. Who's the face now?
Nicki Minaj.
Okay, well, I would like to see her surpass Nicki.
I'm not even a Nicki Minaj fan personally. I mean, she does what she does. That's awesome. But
I haven't heard anything impressive from Nicki in a long time.
Yeah, like I said, I've heard impressive things from her, just not in recent.
I've always
moments.
said Nicki can rap. And the thing with Cardi B is, we talked about this a little bit a second ago off air. It's very, I'm not gonna say very easy. It's easy in the grand scheme of things to make a hit, but it's very hard to make a second one. It's simple to make a good album, but it's very hard to make a good second album. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So can she do it again? I say it's hard, man. I would even put the word unlikely on it. If I was a betting man, I think I would bet on Cardi B to disappear and fall off over her becoming bigger.
Yeah. I mean,
I would take my chances with the latter.
She has one thing on her side. She's dating Amigos, which Amigos seem to be like
got the connections already.
Be like gold on every track at this point. They're just kind of in that lane where they're having so much success that everything they touch kind of turns to gold. So I think that'll be an effect. Not that I want to take anything away from her, but like you're right, it's very difficult to repeat that. Even, I mean, kind of same thing with Amigos. They had Bad and Bougie. They put out another album this year. How are you gonna compete with that? That's hard.
That's so tough. It's almost like don't be too good. You know, it's like don't be too successful because then
this could go downhill.
You're judged so hard.
Because even Drake, he came out 08, 09 roughly. His first solo song was last year with song One Dance. It took him 10 years to get to that point, just about. So it's not an easy thing to do, and it's hard to start off that high because once you start off that high, we expect you to stay at that level. It's like, all right, you gave us number one hit. What's gonna be your next number one hit?
Yeah.
Versus, you coming slowly into the game, and that's kind of just expecting you to grow. You hit that peak, now stay there, and it's unfair, to be honest with you, for us to expect that, but it's today's world.
Typically what happens is you see the trend is one-hit wonders, they'll come out with that one song, then they'll come out with a second song that will get like midway up there, and then that's it. I think Trinidad James had the All Gold Everything song, and then he had a song, I forget what it's called, My Side Bitch and My Main Bitch Don't. That was like, it was on the radio a couple times, it's up there, and then that's it. Like, because that second hit is people giving you a chance.
Yeah,
they're like, okay, what else you got? And then it's like, okay, I'm done. So Cardi B, if you took your chances on her becoming a one-hit wonder or her becoming the next star, I would put my money on the one-hit wonder. I don't want to do that, but if my money was on,
we're hoping
for
the best.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to say.
But speaking of congratulations, right? Let's talk about Mr. Congratulations. Let's talk about Post Malone. He's killing the game right now. I think he has 2 songs in the top 40. Is that correct?
He has 2 songs in the top 40.
One's number 2?
Yeah, one's number 2.
Rockstar, which is my favorite song.
It debuted this week at number 2, which both songs have beat Taylor Swift. Which is crazy because she was number 1 last year.
Whatever, the whole thing's shitting on Taylor Swift.
Yes, this is the fuck Taylor
you
Swift
passed
podcast.
You passed Taylor Swift. You're all right,
But no, and then he has Congratulations at number 36. That came out last year in 2016, beginning of December rather. December 9th was when the album dropped, and I think Congratulations became a single until the album dropped. And it's still in the top 40, which is impressive. We're talking about almost a year, because he's still in the top 40. So my odds are it's gonna stay in that top 100 until the end of this year.
That's crazy, man. And that new song. I'm waiting, and I told a bunch of people this. I'm waiting for a Post Malone song to come out that I don't like. Just not happening. Like, that Rockstar song came out, and I'm just like, this is so good. Like, I love this song. You have 21 Savage, like, I'm not going to say harmonizing, but he's holding notes to where the auto-tune sounds good. I don't know how you're doing that with 21, because he basically talks his rap. So I don't know how you're doing that. But it's an impressive song. And the fact that I heard the song's actually old. Like, I heard, like, Post Malone, he did an interview, and he was like, the song's been done for, like, a little bit. Then we just threw 21 on it, and it becomes a hit. I'm like, if Post has songs that are, like, in the vault that are that good, like, I don't even...
I'm excited to hear the next album. I mean, it's...
Beer, Bongs, and Bentleys.
I don't know when we're going to hear it as of right now, but I think he might have something going here, and this may be an artist to look out for.
God, I'm not... I had there's some information about the album that he said in a recent interview. I know he said Tommy Lee, who's one of the famous drummers of all time, is playing drums on the album.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's big. And he said he had a feature. Ty Dolla $ign is on the album as well. That's the two leaks.
They're kind of similar in song style, it seems like.
Yeah, so that's
I'd like to hear them together.
That's what's going to be on the new album, Beer, Bongs, and Bentleys.
Actually, I think they were on Kanye's song together. I think
yes.
So. They were on Kanye's song, and that song was crazy.
You know who I get mixed up? I get Ty Dolla $ign and Tory Lanez mixed up all the time. I don't know how.
You're the only one that does that.
Yeah, I have no clue how. Like, whenever they're like, oh, Ty Dolla $ign, like a Tory Lanez song pops in my head, and I'm like, oh, not him? Okay.
I like Ty Dolla $ign. He's all right in my book.
I haven't heard enough from him. The last thing I heard from Ty Dolla $ign was he did the Sucker for Pain song for the Suicide Squad soundtrack.
I was not feeling that song.
He opened up the song, and I was just like,
it was all right.
That song is whatever. Good movie, though. I like the movie.
Yeah, the movie was hard. Can we talk about Joe Embiid saying he does not plan to play 82 games?
Man,
what is happening to our NBA?
And you being one of my very good friends, I'm probably Joel Embiid's number one fan.
Yes.
I think he's him playing like already half a year.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. I feel like him already playing or only playing half a year or something like that. He is already a top 5 center in the league already. Just I know like people want to like it's one of those things where you haven't seen enough of him yet, but his per 36 minute stats are along the lines of Akeem Olajuwon, and like they're along the lines of greats. When you think of, some people take him over Karl Anthony Towns already. Like he's just a monster.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
He's more athletic than Karl Anthony Towns. He can shoot better than Karl Anthony Towns.
Can I say one thing that Cat does better than Joel does? Stay on the
healthy.
Floor.
Yeah,
that's probably the most important stat. But I mean, there's a lot of potential there. My issue is that he's playing or not playing 82 games. He's 23 years old. He's 23 years old.
Shouldn't you go into the season like wanting to planning to play?
Exactly. Like he's fresh out of college. Like even though you've been a rookie like 5 times now.
Been a rookie 5 times over.
You're fresh out of college, man. Like you should be out here trying to ball. Like, but I think we're working our way into an NBA where everybody wants to rest all the time, which is hard to argue with because I'm just like on one side, you're like, yeah, I get it. These guys want to stay healthy and make it to the playoffs. They're expecting playoff runs. First and foremost, nobody's expecting the Sixers to make a major playoff run. So
they're expecting to make the playoffs.
Well, everybody in the East is gonna make the playoffs at this point. You have 2 teams in trash. Well, not trash. You still have the Wizards, the Bucks. That's about it.
I think
outside the top 2.
Atlanta's gonna struggle to win 20 games. They got no. You left Dennis Schroeder with nothing. Dennis Schroeder, Tarion Prince, and Mike Muscala.
Can we talk about the Knicks?
Jeez.
Oh my God. You have Porzingis, which is awesome. You have the unicorn. Who else do you have on that? Who's on that team?
The rookie point guard.
Is
from
Spike
France
Lee just going to join the team?
That I can't.
They get to pull him off the sideline.
Talk about they got Tim Hardaway. they like completely released him or traded him.
They released him because they didn't want to pay him and ended up signing him back for a lot more money.
That's desperation.
That's what I'm saying. Like they have none. They're just like, we'll give you whatever you want.
Tim Hardaway's just like.
Tim Hardaway.
I guess.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm just chasing this check. I'm not mad at him. Tim Hardaway's young. Get that money. But yeah. It's just funny to watch. It's like the East is falling apart, and it's sad because let's honestly look at the East. Your top tier teams. Obviously, you have the Cavs, the Celtics, Washington, Toronto, the
Milwaukee,
Bucks.
yeah, and
then it kind of just falls off. The Bulls have nobody.
Yeah, they'll still struggle.
You have Zach LaVine.
I want to see Zach LaVine I want to see him be the focal point of a team. That'd be fun. To watch.
I think it'll be fun, but you have Cameron Payne, who's one of your focal players, and he's on like a walker right now.
Yeah, now you got they got the Minnesota guy.
I loved it. They said
Chris Dunn.
He rolled into media day.
Yeah, there's Chris Dunn, who's was a top 5 pick last year.
Yeah,
or top at least top 10 for sure from Minnesota, and he never panned out in Minnesota. If you can't beat Ricky Rubio in competition,
hold on. I love Ricky Rubio as a true point guard.
Did I send you the new picture of him? What he looks like? I sent you.
Yes, he looks like a man wolf.
He's dimey now, dude. Rubio, he always looked ugly. Now he's like, if I can't win games, I'm gonna pull some bitches, dog. Like
he's gotta do something.
But yeah, but back kind of drifted away. Back to Embiid. I'm Embiid's number 1 fan probably. I have been for a long time. I have his jersey. I have everything. I do not like it. I don't like. I don't want he's the best player on that team. I don't want my best player going into the season, especially being that young. If you're 30 saying, hey, I might not play 2 games, I sort of understand it. Still don't even like it from that point.
Yeah.
But when my best player's going into the year saying,
at age 23,
there's no way I'm playing 82 games. Like, that's tough. That's tough.
It's trash.
But that shows where the league's going. Because in Embiid's head, it's okay to rest. It's okay to rest because everybody else is doing it. So he's like, I'll just say it that I'm not going to.
But at the same time, you haven't even played a full season yet.
Yeah,
you've had plenty of rest,
and apparently you're not going to.
You've had plenty of rest. You're fine.
He did have meniscus surgery, but it's like that was forever ago. That was middle of last year that he had his meniscus surgery. And that goes to the next topic, I guess you would say. It goes to Charles Barkley, who mocks the NBA scheduling, saying they're babies, you you got to protect the babies, and he mocks because they don't want to play back-to-backs. And
much as I dislike Charles Barkley,
you almost agree with him. My thing is, okay, a lot of people, a lot of basketball fans don't know this, but hockey plays 82 games just like the NBA does, and hockey plays in the same it's the exact same season, like they line up together. The NBA wants a similar schedule compared to hockey, but you're talking about two different
people fight in hockey, and it's allowed.
People are getting cut with blades. People are getting knocked out.
Fam,
play your back-to-backs.
I'm sorry, but okay, so I feel the same way about the NFL. The NFL, they're like, we need to limit this, we need to limit this. Dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Just take the contact. That's what you're getting paid for.
Get that CTE, dog.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You did not go into sign a contract and be like, well, I'm gonna sign this contract, but I better never get CTE. Dude, you knew the factors. You knew what was happening. But you're getting paid millions. You said, all right, you got to take the risks that come with it. And we don't want anybody to get hurt by any means.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you make the sport softer and softer and softer and softer, at some point, your views are going to go down and down and down. Now your money's going to get affected by that.
There's a report that football could not exist in 15 years or 20 years.
I don't know if I buy that. You have baseball that's been dying for forever.
And it's still going.
It's still here. I don't know if I buy it not existing, but I definitely expect viewership to go down just because of everything that's going on. And you have people that are just tired of it being soft. What would be really interesting to see is maybe a new system or a new company to compete with the NFL, where they don't take all that stuff off the table. That'd be very hard to do, obviously, because NFL is such
just go out there and just tackle with nothing.
Yes.
There's actually a report. I never looked into it, but I hear there's a report that says no helmets would be better than wearing helmets.
That's crazy.
I don't even like it.
I don't know if that makes sense.
There's no way that makes sense. But actually, what would be a better solution than limiting back-to-backs and doing all this spacing out and this scheduling?
What's that?
Reduce the number of games in an NBA season. Go to 58 instead of 82.
I don't know if I like that.
Because then every game's more. Because now, if you take a L on the 20th game of the year, you don't care. Because you're like, there's 82 games. If there's 58 games, all those games come a little bit more important. And you could do your back-to-backs because there's less total games being played. I'm okay with that.
The part I don't like about it is, so we look at list of greatest.
No one gives a fuck until the playoffs start anyway.
Let me say this. I'm a humongous basketball fan. And we talk stats all time.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many records that would just ruin that will never be touched ever again?
That's a good point.
And that kills the fun of basketball. It's like most points in a season, you take 30 games away, that records never get touched again, ever. You talk about, even career-wise, people are, I think Kobe has the most points ever scored right now in a career. Is that accurate? I believe so.
I have to look down.
He's also the most missed shots. I love me some Kobe, but
most rape cases.
Don't talk about Kobe like that.
That was number 8 Kobe. It doesn't.
We are not tolerating any Kobe disrespect.
That was
today.
number 8 Kobe. It
not
doesn't
today,
count.
sir. We're not talking about Kobe. It's alleged, and it's not true. Okay, I defend Kobe at all times. Don't disrespect my man's like that.
Damn.
I'm a little offended by that.
We might have to fight
again. Might get bodied again.
I don't know how I got bodied.
I mean, when do you not get bodied? That's probably the better question.
I always lose, but yeah, I'm with Charles Barkley. He's wrong about so many things, and I don't like him on so many levels. But at this point, I do get what he's saying. That it's getting a little too much. It's basketball at the end of the day. I get it. Your body's hurt, because you're running all the time, but you're not getting hit by 280-pound players. You're not getting knocked out. You're not. It's basketball at the end of the day. You're not even supposed to have contact in basketball. The whole point is to not have contact. And you're talking about not playing back-to-backs.
I'd rather talk football safety than basketball safety, personally, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think football's
100%.
getting soft, and I don't like it. But if we're talking about both, yes, let's talk football safety way before basketball safety.
Yeah, like when LeBron James already has a reputation of being, a little bit of a baby. Yeah.
Soft.
And then whenever he gets on, I'm pretty sure he was the one that was like, these back-to-backs are killing us. I'm just like, man, toughen up. Like, LeBron James is a monster of a human being. Like, as far as body structure, what is he, 6'8", 240? Like,
but if anybody has the opportunity to complain about that, it has to be LeBron.
yeah.
You know how many times how far he's been in the playoffs, and so many, like, he's played extra seasons in the playoffs.
He's played more than a season probably.
Yeah, like he's put I think we're maybe at like 2 seasons. He's been in the finals
Probably.
6, 7 times in a row.
I'm not good at math.
Come on now, fam. Like, come on. Like, even if we're just talking, the finals, and the conference finals, we're still talking about at least, we'll say, 5 games on average each.
And he's never been hurt. On top of
Exactly. We're talking about 10 games. That's an added 10 games every single season. So 7 years in a row, that's 70. That's just the conference finals and the finals. He's done it 7 years. That's 70 games. Not to mention some of those games went to 7. Like, that's almost a full season just out of the conference finals and the finals. So I still don't. I'm kind of on both sides of it. Like, I disagree with it, but if anybody's gonna say it, let's listen to LeBron. It's because he's played more than anybody, and it's insane. And that's just the past 7 years. He's paid. He's 10. He's I think like on his 12th year or 13th year.
He's 32. I know that. I saw it this morning.
So he's 14. He's probably about 14th, 15th year then. If we're gonna listen to anybody about
LeBron's 32. Fuck me.
Man,
God damn it. God, I just.
does that make you mad?
Oh man. For sure, like breaking all records, right?
Go talk.
For sure. If you're 32, like
Yeah, he's still got years
for
to go.
sure, right?
He's still,
like what's
I say I give him probably about 3 more years in his prime,
that's fucking
which is
scary.
terrifying.
That's so scary.
So we're talking this year, next year, and the year after that.
Oh man.
And so if we're talking prime, we're talking about he'll probably play. He's like 38, 39. I don't see 40, but those are
Hey, Vince Carter did it. Or is doing it still.
Yeah, but Vince Carter's never been he's been the vocal point of an offense, but not for very long. LeBron's been the vocal point of an offense since the day he stepped into the league until now. So he's doing a lot more. And plus, Vince Carter accepted that secondary role like years ago.
I can't imagine it.
Coming off the bench years ago.
I can't imagine LeBron not being a star.
I don't ever want to see LeBron come off the bench in my lifetime. I don't.
He better retire at that point.
No, if they say you need to come off the bench,
he better do an
Deuces.
Allen Iverson.
Deuces. Man.
I don't know any MVP that come off the bench.
Facts.
I don't know any NBA scoring champion that come off the bench. Why Allen Iverson got to come off the bench?
Allen Iverson's great.
It's one of my favorite.
Allen Iverson's
of all
great.
time.
He's great. That's just the best way to put it.
I'm with it. But yeah, I agree with Charles Barkley. Still don't like Charles Barkley. He's a rocket hater. He doesn't like analytics, which is a part of basketball now.
A huge part of basketball.
Fuck him.
So let's kind of get into something that's a little bit on the other side of things. A little bit what's kind of been going on is with the NFL is the protesting that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Very sensitive subject, obviously. Lots been going on. I mean, obviously this happened last year. It started with Colin Kaepernick. Now he's not able to get a job.
Shout out Kaepernick.
And then you have the president call everybody who's kneeling a son of a bitch, and that they need to be fired. This obviously put a different attitude into the NFL because it was beautiful to see the NFL unify in that situation. Because I don't want to make it seem like they're protesting Trump. That's not what's happening. They're not protesting the flag. They're not protesting Trump. It has nothing to do with that.
Trump fueled the flame.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I think he did the opposite of what he was intending. And
Shocker.
that's what I was kind of happy about because we're seeing the NFL come together like we've never seen before.
This is true.
And I know there's a lot of people. I've been watching videos, people burning their team's flags because they kneeled or stayed inside the locker room during the national anthem. Fun fact: you realize that the NFL used to stay inside the locker room during the national anthem all the time. Like dating back, I think they started coming out for the national anthem back in 2009, and the only reason why they actually did that is they were paid by the government to do that, to show that, to show patriotism and kind of glorify it in the media. So we're upset about something that's been happening for 8 years stop happening.
All because of one guy.
Yes, exactly. But and to be honest with you, I think Colin Kaepernick has succeeded in what he was trying to do.
I think he's almost happy with not being in the NFL, knowing that when he did all this, he started all this. I mean, of course, I'm sure he wants the money. I'm sure he wants his checks. I'm sure he wants to make a living. I'm sure he's made enough to, if he lives responsibly, I'm sure he's good for the rest of his life. But I'm pretty sure if you asked Colin Kaepernick, if you had an interview with Colin Kaepernick and you said, how are you feeling right now? I think he would say, I feel pretty damn good knowing that I did what I did. But I have something that I would like to say. I know I'm like not the right person.
Keep in mind, not that we're gonna play the race tool. I'm black.
I'm Caucasian.
Brandon is Caucasian. So that's kind of a little knowledge on our insight on the situation.
And so you got two different perspectives coming from two different people who live two different lifestyles.
Correct.
I have a couple things I want to say. One, the big thing why fans are being upset, and even Trump, I feel like it's the reason behind Trump's being upset, for kneeling during the national anthem is disrespect to the troops. Now, I have a scenario or a reference for you here. Okay. I want you to follow me here, okay? I have a glass Coke bottle. You know, like the old school ones, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say I throw it down in rage and I break it. You look at me and you go, you don't like Coke. You don't like the Coca-Cola brand. I say, no. I just don't like glass bottles. Just because they are kneeling during a national anthem does not mean they do not support the troops. Perception is not reality in this instance. Just because they're kneeling during a national anthem does not mean, hey, they don't support the troops. Everybody has their reasons for things. You know? You have no idea why this guy is kneeling. And the overall reason why they are kneeling is because of social injustice and inequality in America. And another fun fact is Trump broke the law. There is a law that says a person in a government position cannot influence a business owner to fire employees. That is a law. And Trump got out there proving that he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Speak them facts.
He proves that he has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. That's not surprising anymore. At first, it was like, damn, this fool don't know what he's talking about. Now it's like, all right, Trump's being...
That's proof.
Ignorance is Trump being Trump. Whenever Trump's being stupid, it's up. There he goes again.
He's out there
and
being
that's
Trump.
not good. That's not good. But yeah, like it's for those who get upset because my dad fought for this country, blah blah. That's not. You're missing the point. You're totally not getting it.
And to be honest with you, from my perspective, when we're kneeling and that's our First Amendment. That's as Americans, that's our
Peaceful
First Amendment. We're allowed, and this is the most peaceful protest ever.
No one's yelling.
They're not yelling. They're literally just kneeling during national anthem, and then they're going back out there and playing their game. That's it. Mm-hmm. So, my issue is, I mean, the people are calling and saying they're un-American, they're this, they're that, disrespecting the veterans. Even though veterans go out there and fight for our right to do that, that is our American right to do that. So, when you put things into perspective, this is the most American things can get. We go out there and we see there's clearly a problem in America. America's the greatest country in the world. All that. However, it's not away from critiquing. There's obviously a lot of things that can improve in America. It's obvious. I mean, race issues are a humongous issue in today's world, unfortunately. And I think Trump's been a part of glorifying certain situations where people now feel comfortable being out in the open about it. And to be honest with you, I kind of prefer I rather know who you are than so on and so forth. I log on to Facebook and I see people from high school defending Trump, and I'm like, you know what?
I'm glad.
What I know about you already, I'm not surprised. And that's kind of a sad outlook. It's just like I've seen people who have done racist things in the past, just going to school with him.
I've been with you.
And I've seen stuff. I've known you done racist things, and now you're defending him.
I've been with you when people have treated you different.
Yeah,
just because you're black.
Exactly.
It wasn't funny, but it was kind of funny.
Ridiculous. Like, we talked about it. Yeah. It's people. The approach is different. So, if we're really truly talking about being American, if you have a problem with people doing a peaceful protest, because their rights aren't being respected, keep in mind, all men are created equals in the Constitution. So if you have a problem with that, you're not very American. If you have a problem with people respecting their First Amendment, you're not very American. So if we're truly talking about what's going on and you have a problem with it, you need to start taking a look in the mirror when we're talking about who's American and who's not. Because this entire country was founded off of people not being allowed to do what they, wanted to do or being respected of religion and whatnot. So that's why this country was founded. That's the reason why America was created. That was the reason why, the war and everything. There's a reasoning that we fight for what we want. I mean, you have Rosa Parks who sat on the bus. She wasn't protesting buses. It meant something. We're not protesting the flag. We're not protesting the national anthem.
That's a great point. Yeah.
It meant something. It has nothing to do with the national anthem. It's what we're doing is bringing attention to what's going on, and that's what's happening. So as far as I'm concerned, the protesting is completely doing its job, and we're talking about it. And if you do agree with the fact that they should not be protesting, and you do agree that they need to stop being a baby, I challenge you to simply just talk to somebody who's been in that situation. Talk to somebody who's an immigrant. Talk to somebody who's African American. Let's talk to those people and get their side of things. And stop protesting. Let's start saying, why are you protesting? Why do you feel like something's different? Let's get that conversation going. Because at the end of the day, we're all Americans. And I think it comes down to let's have that conversation. And if after you don't respect that person's wanting to be equal with you, I mean, that's all it's fighting for. We want to be equal. We want to be seen as Americans and not this black guy, that white guy, this Hispanic guy. If you have a problem with that, maybe you need to go to another country, because this is America where everybody's equal. And the First Amendment is freedom of speech.
It seems like the people that don't support the protesting are, to be honest, majority white people who just never have been oppressed before. They go through life like me. I am white. I come from a pretty much suburban, a little bit of country household. I've never been oppressed in my life. I've never been in a situation where, because of how I looked, I had the short end of the stick. Mm-hmm. I've never been in that situation before. So it would be easy for me to be like, oh, y'all, why are y'all kneeling? Y'all have nothing to worry about. But I realize what's going on around me. I have 360 vision. I'm seeing, I'm good. This guy's not, though. Like, he's getting the short end of the stick. I'm not. So I have to show my respects. And I could only imagine what it's like to be in that. Like, when I talked to a black lady a month ago, and she said, I had to have a conversation with my kid, her obviously black kid, and was like, there's going to be times where you're going to grow up, and there's going to be situations you are put in where somebody is going to treat you different, or someone's going to shorthand you because you're black. And I can't even imagine what that's like. Like, I can't. That's scary to have that conversation with your child like that. And then all we are doing is kneeling because, there are police officers that are killing unarmed black men, that black men are being thrown in jail 3 times the amount of the normal population. And it's like, that's scary, man. And keep protesting, because like Greg Popovich said, he said the only way that anything is going to get close to changing is by shoving it in people's faces, making it more annoying.
Yeah. And
if this protesting is annoying you, it's what it's supposed to do. So
exactly.
Let's keep it going.
And shout out to the NBA for actually allowing their players to
speak.
I mean, I'm a big NBA fan, and I think that makes me more of a big NBA fan. I think, what's crazy? Like, we're talking about the NFL and their views going away and whatnot, and they're having a problem with viewership. I think in our last podcast we talked about, is the NBA going to have its biggest opening for their first game? And I think we're seeing a difference. We're seeing a player-ran league where you have a league where they understand their players are people. They let them speak, and Adam Silver's been
Shout
awesome.
out Adam Silver. God,
he's been
is
awesome.
he not the best owner in the world right
Seriously,
now?
like he's
as far as sports goes,
he's been awesome. Roger Goodell,
trash.
We're not surprised by what's going on, and I think it's just there's a lot of things that can improve, and by all means, if it takes protesting for the next 10, 15 years to do so, then let's do it. Because at the end of the day, black people just got basic American rights in my dad's lifetime, and that's
scary to think about.
That's scary. The person who raised me was around when, they didn't have full rights, or at least around that time period. So if we're thinking about it like that, there's still problems left that need to be addressed. And if you're against addressing those problems, are you very American? Let's think about that.
Let's end it on that. And it's like, are you American?
That's a serious question.
Echoes.
Love it.
So we got onto a more lighter note. Great. That was great conversation. I love that. That was great. Next, we talked about, you said earlier, best NBA offseason, and it got a lot better. It got a lot crazier. The Oklahoma City Thunder traded for Carmelo Anthony. They gave up Enes Kanter and Dougie McBuckets and a second-round pick.
Correct.
For Carmelo Anthony.
Trash.
Very lopsided trade.
Yes.
But the thing is, the weird thing is, I don't know what's going on in Oklahoma City, but they are getting They're doing trades where they are getting the better end of the deal every time. They traded Oladipo and Sabonis for Paul George. They traded Kanter and McBuckets for Carmelo. Where can I get that GM at?
And serious question. How soon do you think Kevin Durant's going to try to go back to OKC?
I'm waiting for the meme to come out. It's just like, I want to go
a new
back.
chapter.
Man. Oh, man. Remember that meme I sent you when Kansas City, the Chiefs beat the Patriots week 1, and then it shows Kevin Durant holding the Chiefs jersey? And it's like, I've decided to take my talents to Kansas City. Nah, man. I have, you open the Oklahoma City thing, because I'm going to come back, and I have my feelings.
So, I'm personally excited for this OKC. Little let down as a Rockets fan, but it's okay. I still like to see good basketball, and I think this makes for really good basketball. Just for the sake of stars being on one team.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun to watch. I mean, because we looked at past years, we're like, oh my God, it's going to be so boring. Golden State's just going straight to the finals.
It's not like that this year.
Cleveland's going straight to the finals. I think some of these teams can compete with Warriors. I don't think overall any of these teams are as good as the Warriors still. But it makes things a lot more interesting. These the Warriors have to fight with the Spurs, the Rockets, Timberwolves, the OKC. That's 4 teams that can compete with them. That makes going to the finals just a little bit harder. And I think that makes
it... boo-hoo.
Yeah, a little bit harder. Not too much.
They're shaking in their boots.
Yeah, they're just like, okay, well, I'm glad you are doing something.
I bet you they're actually salty. They're just like, man, I want...
The Spurs did nothing this offseason except, they probably signed
They got Rudy Gay.
Yeah, they signed Rudy Gay.
My 6th man of the year.
But at the end of the day, do the Spurs really need to sign anybody? They seem to just pull players
they just win
from the street and they turn them into superstars.
Yeah, they just win.
Greg Popovich is the greatest coach ever.
Yeah.
So they can pull the hot dog guy, and we're gonna be looking at a new all-star. The Spurs just do amazing things. I still, to be honest with you, think that if anybody's gonna challenge the Warriors in the Western Conference, it's gonna be the Spurs. Even though they probably did the least amount in this offseason out of the top tier teams.
I could agree with that.
And it's gonna be fun to watch. I love.
Watch out for Houston.
Like I said, I'm Houston biased, so I'm trying to stay away from it, to be honest with you.
Right.
But it's gonna be a fun season, I think. And on the Eastern Conference, I mean, kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah, that's when you have. It's actually kind of exciting whenever you have that. Like you said, we have the first 5 teams are pretty much sewed in, and then it's the last 3 are just up for grabs. You don't really have that in the East. It's kind of like you
top
got
2.
You got your this one. So the East is fun. Though the bottom seeds are gonna be not really. They're not gonna be great teams, but it's fun to see who's gonna be there because there's always a chance. I think the New York Giants won the Super Bowl with a 9-7 record. You never know. Basketball's a whole lot different because it's one game at a time and not 7.
And you go to playoffs. It's a 7-game series.
Yeah,
so
it's
you get your
different.
true winner at the end.
But I get what you're saying as far as stardom.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City was fun. And Colin Cowherd said this, and so I didn't want to say this as it's my quote. But he did say this, and I will repeat it. Shouts out to him, my favorite analyst. Whenever you see a car wreck on the side of the road, you'll slow down and watch, right? That's how I feel about Oklahoma City. I don't see this squad being... Okay, let's go over some points, right? You have your three stars, right? And of course, this team is built on the same format as the Miami Heat where you have LeBron, you have Dwayne Wade, you have Chris Bosh, and then you just have like veteran filler players, right? Mm-hmm. Carmelo Anthony, he's a good scorer. You could even put him in the great scorer. He's a good to great scorer.
I'm gonna go great.
Maybe top 10 in the league as far as scoring. Maybe top 10. I'd really have to see the list to really give it.
Didn't they put him at like 64 greatest player in the league right now?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Trash.
That's retarded.
They put Lonzo Ball over him.
Yeah, that's retarded. I'm not with that. And I'm a Melo fan. I still have my Carmelo Anthony Syracuse jersey. It doesn't fit me anymore because I had it when I was like in 5th grade. But
I got a little fat.
Yeah, I still have that. I've been a Melo fan since Denver, since he was with J.R. Smith, Earl Boykins, and Nene. I've been a Melo fan. But I am realistic, and I do understand what he is right now. I understand what Westbrook is right now, and I understand what Paul George is right now. That team is not built to win. It's not. It's built to get views. It's built to sell tickets. It's built to get good ratings on primetime television. But you got 3 players that are top 10 in isolation percentage basketball. That doesn't work analytically. That is terrible. That doesn't work. I don't see them getting more wins than Houston. I don't see them getting more wins than San Antonio, Golden State, and maybe even the Timberwolves. I don't see them getting more wins than that. Timberwolves is a scary team. People need to realize that. People say, oh, they're young. They don't have things figured out. Well, what if they do figure it out? That's the scary thing, right? Melo can't play defense. That's no secret. Russell Westbrook is dead last out of all players that play 30 or more minutes in contested field goals. So he doesn't play defense because he's too busy getting his rebounds. By the way, with Paul George there, he's not going to get those rebounds like he did last year.
Correct.
Paul George wants, and even Melo wants those rebounds. You're not going to...
They're not going to get out the way for
you. Westbrook played on a team of yes men. Where they're like, okay, Russell, what do you need, Russell? All right, Russell, I got you. Paul George will slap you. Paul George, Paul George he's a dude. Like we talked about this last podcast. He has an attitude on him. There's been times where, like I said, I go back to that game 1 of the first round of the playoffs where he said, man, I needed to get that last shot when there was really no way he could get the shot. But that shows he has that attitude on him. Now you're playing with Russell Westbrook. You know how many shots you're not going to get with Russell Westbrook being on the team? And then now you add Melo to that. That's just a scary situation.
But let's also discuss this. Say Westbrook changes his game and becomes that assist. Where if he can make this work, I think that puts him in the top tier players in the league. Period.
Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. I don't want there to be any misconception. If this team figures it out, that's a scary team. That is right. I do still think.
I definitely think Russell will have to score less than 25 points a game.
That's not going to happen. There's no way Russell.
But I'm saying for this to work,
it's going to have to.
Assists have to go up, and 25 points a game has to be the limit because he's got to get Paul George shots. He's got to get Carmelo shots. Like just to give you the OKC roster: Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony.
That's it.
Steven Adams, Andre Roberson,
whose career was almost ruined by Russell Westbrook by getting all of his rebounds, taking all of his touches away. Adams is a double-double guy.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because of Westbrook. So Westbrook hurt his career already.
Okay.
Continue.
Now let's talk Andre Roberson.
Trash.
Alex Abrinas.
Good 3-point shooter.
Grant.
Jeremy Grant. Yeah, he's a long defender.
Samaj Kristen. Nick Collison.
Trash.
Kyle Singler. Patrick Patterson. Not a bad addition.
If he stays healthy, he's actually pretty good.
Terrence Ferguson.
Good rookie from overseas.
Raymond Felton. His time's passed.
He was all right last year.
His time's passed. And Daniel Hamilton.
That's just it's not a squad.
That's not a squad. That's not a championship squad.
Yeah, but then you look at the T-Wolves roster, and it's just loaded all the way to the bench, you know? And it's like, I have a hard time...
Oh, I got you, buddy. So, let's look at the Timberwolves roster. Karl Anthony Towns.
Nasty.
Andrew Wiggins.
Nasty.
Shabazz Muhammad.
Good.
Jimmy.
Good.
Garage Dang.
Good young player.
Dias Jones.
Yeah, he doesn't really play.
I don't know how to say this dude's name, but he's irrelevant. Shout out to you, whatever your name is. Cole Aldridge, Jeff T, Jamal Crawford,
Nasty.
Dodge Gibson, Justin Patton, Anthony Brown, Marcus George Hunt.
Like that's a squad. That's a team, man.
And to be honest, that's not as deep as I thought it was.
It's deep. Jamal
it's
Crawford, deep. Taj Gibson, and
So as a starting five, you're looking at Jeff Teague as your point guard. Jimmy Butler as your shooting guard. Probably Andrew Wiggins as your 2.
Oh, you could just swap them.
I'd probably put.
I put Wiggins at my 2 and then Butler at my 3. I feel like Butler's a nastier defender. So
Which that's true. That's true. So we put Butler as your 3.
And Dang at 4. Karl Anthony Towns at 5. Taj Gibson comes off the bench. Or you start Gibson. I don't know.
I'd probably put Dang as my starter personally.
Yeah, because he's young. And then you got Crawford giving you points off the bench. You got Taj Gibson giving you points off the bench. Shabazz Muhammad gets you points off the bench. That's a great bench, man. That's a really good bench. I'm down for it.
So let's talk the ultimate move that just happened. The Cavs have signed Dwayne Wade.
Man,
Wade. Now,
Nah.
I've kind of had this discussion with a few people about where they're going to be at now versus the Celtics. And I mean, I'll talk to somebody like, oh yeah, they can compete with the Warriors. They can beat the Warriors now. Slow your roll. Let's truly look at this. Let's take a deep dive into this roster. Obviously, the big trade that first happened was you receive Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie. Now, even when Isaiah Thomas is 100% healthy, that's still a step down from Kyrie Irving. Now, on top of that, he's not healthy. We're not talking about till January till he comes back. And on top of that, you still have to learn. That's 4 months away from the playoffs. You still have to learn how to vibe with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, and know how, because he's got to be a true point guard. He can't be out here. I mean, getting buckets all the time. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to have a chance to shoot as much as he used to. On top of that, he's a big defensive liability. And you're talking about if we're going to the finals, he's guarding Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave Steph Curry wide open all the time, or somebody who can shoot over in a heartbeat? Oh my God, that's easy. That's light work. You're talking about probably the best scoring point guard in the entire league. Period. Come on now, let's be honest here. So I like Isaiah Thomas, but if we're talking about truly comparison, that's a step down. So your shooting guard's most likely, your starting shooting guard's gonna be Dwayne Wade. I don't think there's any question about that. Now, Dwayne Wade still shows flashes of the past.
I think he averaged 18 a game last year. Something like that.
Isn't bad. I mean, like I said, he's still a good player by all means. But can he stay on the floor? Humongous question to ask.
How much will he rest?
He's gonna have to rest. He's an older.
18.3 last year, by the way.
What was his percentage? Do you know?
Give me a second. Keep talking.
So, if we're talking about that, then you have Jay Crowder that was added, which is. I love Jay Crowder. I think he's a great defender, great build. He's kind of built like LeBron, to be honest with you. They're both just man
brick
built.
houses.
Yes. So good luck trying to get inside the paint.
By the way, Dwayne Wade shot 43%, which is a career low, it looks like. But his 3-point percentage was 31%, which is the best since 08-09. So he shot better from 3.
I think he's going to have to continue to get better from the 3-point line, to be honest with you. Because his ability to drive inside has kind of diminished over time. The older you get, don't have the same power, you don't have the same jump. So he's gonna have to become a better shooter. He's always been a good mid-range shooter, but not a big 3-point shooter.
That was his thing.
Yeah,
he just created shots, kind of like Kobe and like everybody did at that time.
But on top of that, he's gonna have a lot more open shots now. You got LeBron on the floor. You have
a lot more open than it was in Chicago. That's correct. For sure.
You have Derrick Rose, great addition.
You're a big Derrick Rose guy.
I
just realized, because I know you're advocate of Derrick Rose, but I remember you telling me like when I met you like 2 years or 3 years ago about how much you actually were a fan of Derrick Rose. You've been a fan.
I've been a fan.
I just completely forgot about that.
People like to call him trash because he's not who he was. He's aware he's not what he was.
Isn't that terrible? Let's talk. Isn't that fucking awful? It's like, oh, you're not MVP, you're trash.
Exactly. Keep in mind, dude averaged 18 points a game, shooting 48% from the field. That's better than a lot of your point guards.
On a shitty New York team.
That's better than a lot of your point guards. Now he's going to a team. Offense. Now he's going to a team where there's threats everywhere, so he's going to get more open shots. He doesn't have the same jump or speed that he once had, but it's still there. He's
explosive.
It's still there. So Derrick Rose is like 28 years old. He still has a little bit left in him. So I think that's nasty coming off the bench. If he does come off the bench.
But he's starting to start the year for a long. He's still starting.
Correct.
For a lot.
Once again, if he stays healthy.
Right.
Because you got Derrick Rose, Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, that are very questionable health wise.
Mm-hmm.
If they're hurt, that team doesn't compete with the Warriors.
And Kevin Love always seems to find a way to get hurt too.
Correct. So now you have 3, maybe 4 players that are very questionable health wise. Which Kyrie Irving got hurt before, but for the most part he stayed healthy.
He's been pretty solid. He's been resting though.
Yes.
I wonder what's gonna happen with that.
So you talk 4 players that are questionably healthy. I think if 1 to 2 of those players are gone, it's hard getting past the Celtics.
Yeah.
So staying healthy is a major concern for me when it comes to the Cavs. I think that's something that we haven't really looked into. We're just like, oh, that's a great team. It's like, Derrick Rose, always hurt. Dwayne Wade, recent years, always hurt. Isaiah Thomas, hurt right now.
Yeah.
So it's health is going to be a major. You have LeBron, who's seems like he's never hurt.
No, he's not.
Lord forbid he ever does get hurt. Because I love watching him play. But if we're talking about, you got Kyle Korver, who's doesn't get hurt, but he's old. He's at that point where he's just not as effective anymore. He's not. J.R. Smith, same thing. Tristan Thompson,
It's I say this. Boston is the best team in the East until Isaiah Thomas is healthy. Until Isaiah Thomas comes back, Boston is my number 1 team, and then once Isaiah Thomas is healthy and playing, then Cleveland takes over as my number 1 team.
We'll see.
But yeah,
I forgot. Cavs got Jeff Green too. It's a nice little addition.
Yeah, he's such like an inconsistent player.
He is.
He's just because he doesn't have like a true position. Like, are you a small forward? Are you a small forward? Are you a small power forward? Like,
and to be honest with you, he had a very low last year.
Because he couldn't stay on the floor.
Averaged 9 points a game, shooting 39%.
Trash can.
Trash.
But yeah, Cleveland always seems to poke the beast around players that are kind of
because
teams right off. Like they got Derek Williams last year.
Yeah, like they don't need to be stars. They can be inconsistent and it's fine, because you still have LeBron James, which is as consistent as it comes. You still have Dwayne Wade, which when he's healthy, is like I said, will give you flashes of just nastiness. And when he's with LeBron James, obviously he's just a different animal. You have Derrick Rose, who's honestly kind of consistent when he's on the floor. My personal opinion. Once again, I'm a Derrick Rose fan, so maybe I'm just being biased.
A little biased.
Isaiah Thomas, consistent for the most part. I don't know how he's going to be, because a hip injury that's this far into the year, it's going to be tough, because he's so small that he needs that explosion. If he doesn't have that explosion, he's almost useless. So we'll see. It's a contract year for him, so he's going to want to ball out.
Just let me pitch to you a lineup of Isaiah Thomas, Derrick Rose, LeBron or Jay Crowder at the 3, LeBron James at power forward, and then Tristan Thompson at center, whatever you want, or even Kevin Love at center. Wade. Oh snap! That's what I was forgetting.
Yeah,
right?
You forgot Kevin.
So a small lineup of Isaiah Thomas, Dwayne Wade, Jay Crowder, LeBron James, and Kevin Love at center as a small lineup. Not your starting lineup, but just when you want to go small. That's a disgusting lineup. Of course, Kevin Love's your liability down low, but who really cares when you have so much strength as the wings? Who's going to score on that? Like,
yeah.
Who are you going to be a small forward and power
Essentially,
forward?
LeBron James and Jay Crowder are your big man in that situation.
There's a lot of possibilities with that lineup. That's a scary lineup. But
I think there's a lot of I think the only part that scares me about this is the coaching going to get this right? Because as we all know.
Don't you mean, is LeBron James going to get it right?
Exactly. Tyronn Lue is just kind of a stick figure in the basketball organization. I don't believe Tyronn Lue is a coach, not for 1 second. Let's be honest here. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. If he is truly coaching him, great job. I guess kind of. Because I feel like that LeBron still runs that offense, which is not a bad option to run.
It hasn't really failed.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think there's been some opportunities, roster-wise, that LeBron's made some calls on, but for the most part, LeBron's your go-to guy.
Did you hear
one of the greatest go-to guys ever?
That's true. Did you hear the report that Melo was close to coming to the Cavs, but the Cavs wouldn't give up Tristan Thompson?
That's I don't understand that at all, actually.
And then there's also staying on the Melo topic, the reason why he didn't go to the Rockets is because the Rockets were not willing to pull off a trade that include keeping Ryan Anderson. We definitely wanted to dump him, and we wouldn't give away Gordon and Ariza as a package.
I would give away Ariza for Melo.
But they wanted Gordon and Ariza. We weren't willing to deal them as a package, and we weren't willing to do a deal where we kept Ryan Anderson, but we still ended up keeping Ryan Anderson, and we didn't get Melo. But I say we. I gotta stop saying, as an analyst, I gotta stop saying that. Like, as a podcaster, I have to stop saying we when I talk about the Rockets, because
the Rockets did this.
That's not good. But I remember last season. Was it? No. Was it last year or the year before? It was either last season or the season before. I was in that house that had the pool. Remember the house down Willowbrook? And I was walking around my pool, and I was texting you, and I said Dwayne Wade needs to go to Cleveland. And I don't know if you agreed with me or disputed it. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure I disputed it, probably.
Knowing you, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, it comes into fruition. I am incredibly excited. I've wanted to see this because you don't get better basketball than Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. You don't get better basketball. They are a match made in heaven. The alley-oops will be crazy. It's going to be so much fun. I am excited. I don't even like Cleveland like that because, I have my squad, but at the end of the day, it's going to be fun. Cleveland's going to be fun basketball. When you got LeBron James and Derrick Rose in the same lineup and Jay Crowder, you better protect that rim. You better find someone who can protect that rim.
Can I say one thing?
No.
About our question about this being the biggest opener, I think it officially just became the biggest opener.
It's so big.
Period.
This is going to be
This
fun.
is like the Super Bowl. Like, we don't even care about the Super Bowl.
First game of the year is like the Super
You got
Bowl.
Dwayne Wade playing with LeBron again. You have,
These are just
them going. Yeah, Kyrie playing on the Celtics, going against LeBron. It's gonna be so much fun to watch.
Dude, do people forget that the Celtics have Gordon Hayward too?
I think we forgot about that completely.
Oh my god, this is so scary. It's like when you get to it's like in the UFC when you got like the best guys fighting each other. Like, it's like that all the time in NBA now. Almost every game is gonna be like a superstar rock'em sock'em robot boxing match. Like, man. When the Timberwolves play the Thunder, like, that's gonna be huge. Whenever Golden State plays Houston to open up, that's gonna be huge. Whenever Boston plays Washington, like, all these games are just so fun. It's not like no one's beating up on anybody anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna be great, man. And by the way, I want to put this on record. I have a feeling this might happen, but I'm gonna put it on record. If the Denver Nuggets surprise everybody and become a top half of the West, I'm not saying it will happen, but if it does, I want to, because I have a feeling. I have a feeling about them with Millsap and Jokic and all those young guys, but
that's the only players they have.
Hey, they got a little squad, man. Shouts out Denver. They're making the playoffs this year. They might make top half. Just watch, man.
I don't see it.
Well, man, that was fun. You have fun, dude?
I have tons of fun. Before we get crazy,
who's getting crazy?
I would really like to talk about the Denver Nuggets roster. Because you
wasn't in the play.
You are insane. I don't care about the plans.
I'm not insane.
We have Nikola Jokic,
one of the best centers in the league.
Kenneth Faried.
Okay.
Kind of falling off.
Millsap.
Moutier.
He's got to figure things out a little bit.
Like
he looked like a beast in the African game.
Jamal Murray, the African game.
Shout
out to Africa, but we're talking about playing against. Come on, man. Let's be honest here.
Jamal Murray's a beast.
Jamal Murray.
He's a beast.
To you.
No, he's a beast to everybody.
To you. Wilson Chandler.
He's a good scorer.
To you.
No, he's just a good scorer.
Gary Harris.
He's a good two-way defender. Really good young player.
Juan
Hernangomez.
Whatever,
he's a cool young player.
Will Barton.
He's a beast off the bench. He's
Jameer
always
Nelson.
been.
Everybody's a beast on the Nuggets.
Nah, it's just they're just good players. It's a good squad. Okay. It's a good squad. That's all I'm saying.
Paul Millsap.
Beast.
Malik Plumlee. I'm sorry, Mason Plumlee.
Malik Beasley.
I don't see it, man. I just don't.
Because you don't see the potential in the young players. Jamal Murray was a beast as a rookie last year.
Hold on, please. If you listen to this podcast, I want y'all to look up the Denver Nuggets roster and look up Josh Adams' picture.
I want to see it. Give me a second.
Where is he? He has a picture in the hospital.
Oh my god.
as his roster picture. Really?
I retract my. That's bad.
Oh God. Well,
but when it happens, it's gonna be like the Dwayne Wade thing all over again. Like I'm here saying,
I'll give him maybe playoffs, but not top tier playoffs.
They're going. I'm saying maybe top half of the West. Maybe top half of the West.
I'll give him 8. I'll give him 7 or 8. That's it.
What if they get 6?
No more than that.
Not 6.
Let me think.
If they get 6, do you
so
give me
Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, OKC, Timberwolves.
They could get 6.
Maybe 6. That's still not the
then
top.
Then there's the Clippers and stuff like that.
That's not the top half.
Just it's here. I just wanted to put it out there.
You better take it back.
It's out there.
Close it. Close the door. Don't put it out there. Let it go. It's gone.
Fun times.
We're not talking about different Nuggets anymore.
I'm not having this conversation until it happens.
It's not going to happen.
I'll
give you number 6. Number 6, 7, or 8 is the lower half of the playoffs. Just.
What if they're 5? If they make 5, I win because I said top half.
I'll give you 5.
Okay.
That means they have to be either OKC or the Timberwolves.
Just saying, man. Do you remember when Atlanta was the first in the East over LeBron James and all them?
Are we talking about the East?
It could happen. That's all I'm saying. The Atlanta beat LeBron James.
Yo, we're talking about the East right now. The Eastern Conference.
Was it the Cleveland or was it?
We're talking about teams making the Eastern Conference.
Stop.
The teams making the Eastern Conference is like the easiest thing in the world. I think if I started a team today, I could make the Eastern Conference finals.
Wrap it up then.
Wrap it up then.
Wrap it up then.
Other than that, this is Spitballing Podcast. Hitting you in the face. This is episode 2.
Of many more to come. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. I'm on coffee.
Hump day.
I'm on coffee. I had the girliest coffee this morning.
You know what I'm saying? Your boy has some hot tea. I'm going to die later on today, bro. Like, it's not a game.
Hopefully you feel better for the next episode next week.
I am not.
It's not going to
Y'all, if y'all don't hear me next podcast, I am dead. It's a wrap.
I got to get your replacement.
There's nobody to replace me, son.
My dog, Kyrie.
Facts.
All right, man. Well, it was nice talking to you.
Knuckles.
We just fist bumped it, and we out of here. This is Spitballing, man.